it's going to be fantastic. All right, so there's obviously been reports of street flooding coming in from all across the metro area. The North Shore is just now getting that outer eye wall, which, as Alexa just detailed. At this hour, though, that flooding has not only caused homes and businesses to take on water, but there have been a couple of people evacuated from homes where they felt like they couldn't get out in Jefferson Parish. But in Orleans Parish, there also apparently are some issues where we always see them on those underpasses.
Yes, the canal underpass is infamous for this every time that we get any kind of heavy rain, and that's where we find Alyssa Curtis. She's been all over New Orleans. What are you seeing at this underpass now, Alyssa?
Hey guys, yeah, we are at the canal underpass at Hidalgo right now. I'm going to take a step out so you can really see the extent of this flooding. There's a police officer stationed right here, so I actually just went to his window. I was like, hey, can you give us an update? The water rescue is complete. They were able to get the person out, but this is exactly why you don't want to drive through these areas. The flooding here is so extensive. It's coming out, I would say, about a block from the actual underpass, the direct underpass. So this flooding here is really extensive. The flooding at the Carrollton underpass is also really bad. We know that one is really infamous as well. People love to drive through that one. Some people get stranded at that one. That one is also looking pretty much exactly like this. The wind out here is picking up. The rain has died down for a little bit. There was no rain, but now it is slightly drizzling and nothing bad at all, especially from when you guys saw me at the flooded Olive Street. It's nothing compared to that, but definitely very windy. So police continue to stay inside. I've seen a few people go outside and kind of check on the damage, look in awe at the street flooding. Just watch it on TV. It looks better on TV. We do not want you guys outside in these dangerous conditions. I will say, like we just mentioned, there was a water rescue earlier. We were trying to get here, and we almost, I wouldn't say we got stuck, but we were trying to avoid getting stuck. We were in the Hollygrove area. We had to take some detours just because of all the street flooding, especially in that neighborhood. So we are seeing so much more street flooding than last time I spoke to you guys about an hour ago and an hour and a half ago. So a lot more street flooding right now, and it seems that it's kind of in that like standing water portion of the night right now. You can probably hear it is extremely windy right now. It really picked up in the last 20 seconds. I'm not sure if you guys can see like the tree branches just swaying back and forth really hard. I'm kind of bracing myself as well. I'm sure you guys can hear the wind in the microphone, but again, this is just not what you guys want to be out. These conditions, you don't want to be out in these conditions either. I know the rain has stopped, but it's still not great. But this is not unusual. We know for the canal underpass and similar areas like it. This is just, again, it's pretty par for the course, but this is why we don't want you guys out here, because it's so easy to get stuck in this area or areas like it. This underpass, the Carrollton underpass, any of these spots that are prone to flooding. You think that you can make it. You're like, oh, my car's high enough. The water doesn't look that deep. But next thing you know, you're needing a water rescue, and we do not want that. We want you guys to stay as safe as possible. Again, the rain has died down. It's sprinkling a little bit on and off, but again, nothing like it was an hour to 2 hours ago. It's really died down. It's really breezy. I had to add some extra layers. I dried off to get some of that water off of me so I can try and warm up just a little bit, but it's really breezy, really windy. So again, these are just some of the conditions that we're seeing, and this is happening all over the city. Like I just said, we're in Hollygrove, and we're trying to turn on whatever street we could just to get out of the flooding. We were like, oh my goodness, we do not want to be the ones who are kind of stranded or our car gets flooded. So
can you hear us, Alyssa?
Just be really careful. Yes, I can. Can you
Alyssa,
hear
we
me?
do have a question for you. Yeah, I know that it's so dark out there, but there is, I believe, some way that, isn't there something written on the cinder blocks how deep the water is? Isn't there some type of a measuring
Yes, there is.
thing?
There should
Can
be.
you tell us how deep the water is? Can you see it?
Yeah, let me go walk over. I'm going to be really safe. Don't worry.
And while you're
walk
over there,
and see
is
if
there
I
a
can
car
see
in this
anything.
water
Yeah,
still too?
I believe so. It is really dark. It looks like the car may still be over there. It's really hard to see, so I can't say exactly. I do know the officer said that the person was rescued, so they were fine.
That's good.
I am trying to look. I have my contacts in, but it is so dark I cannot see the measurement. But it's fairly deep. I would say at least a few feet, but I don't want to give you guys an exact measurement, but definitely deep enough that it could get scary out there.
Oh, absolutely. It always accumulates so much quicker down there because it's such a low elevation where it dips underneath there.
Yeah.
And that's why it's deceiving. That's why a lot of times people drive into it because they don't realize how deep it gets so quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. Even just, a normal pothole. We came up on those a few times where we're like, is it deep? Is it a pothole? So we kind of rolled down the window and I would look out a little bit and I was like, okay, it's a pothole, kind of veered to the left, but you never know, especially with these New Orleans streets. 1 minute you're on flat land and then the next one you're like driving down the underpass and it's so much deeper.
Don't we know?
So yeah, it's very common.
Yeah. You've driven all over the place today. You were in Hollygrove, now you're over here. Can you tell us, have you seen any other street flooding on your travels?
Definitely. I do want to say earlier this afternoon when it was still light outside, we were trying to head to Venetian Isles. I think you guys saw some of that. But the road to get out there was just flooded and we didn't want to risk it. And that was earlier this afternoon. So I'm sure those streets in that area are flooded even more. I'm gonna pull up my map right here to see where we've been and what areas were flooded. Oh, right in front of Costco by Xavier. Absolutely flooded over there. We had to really maneuver over there. The canal over there was really rising.
Yes,
So
Alyssa,
Xavier area.
Yeah, before, not to cut you
Yes.
off, but just I want to stop you there because apparently there are extremely high canal levels in Hollygrove. That canal in Hollygrove is a drainage canal, which is an indication that the Sewage and Water Board's drainage system is completely overwhelmed and could indicate a problem with pumping and power and all those things. Now, Joe Giarrusso, the city council member, recently tweeted that the Sewage and Water Board is reporting high canal levels in Hollygrove, Lakeview, Gentilly, and maybe New Orleans East. Apparently, they've had some issues with power. The EMDs, that are those backup power generators, went down and will likely prolong proper drainage. There were also some issues with power in another part of the city. No reports of widespread downed pumps, but this is obviously a Sewage and Water Board issue of the system being overwhelmed and possibly some problems happening.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense because, again, in that area, not only was there flooding, but there were power outages. A lot of those streets were going dark. So that would make absolute sense. Once I get off with you guys, I can make some calls and see if we can get any information from Sewage and Water Board about what's going on or when we can expect some of that pumping to resume. But yeah, that exactly makes sense. Flooded streets and some power outages in that area.
Yeah, that seems like an abnormal amount of water, even at that underpass. Even though it floods all the time,
yeah, it
that
does,
looks
but
like abnormal.
Yeah, and it's really high, and it's also kind of been a while since we've had really heavy rain, right? Is that accurate, Alyssa, or are you seeing rain where you are?
No, you are absolutely correct. Last time you guys saw me, I want to say it was about an hour ago, and we were by the World War II Museum. and it was coming down so hard. But when we got in the car and we started driving, we were trying to make it over here. After about 10 minutes, it stopped raining, and it hasn't really rained since then. So I would say now, probably about an hour, it's been pretty dry. We'll get some pockets of drizzling, but it is so light of a drizzle that it feels like it, compared to what was going on 2 hours ago, it feels like it's not even raining. But yeah, we have not had a significant constant downpour in about an hour, I would say.
That definitely is unusual. So I don't know if it's just that the drainage system is struggling to keep up, you know, and that there is a lack of power or whatnot. But you know, this is certainly an emergent situation, and we're hearing that not only are there overflowing canals and high levels in the canals there in Hollygrove, but parts of Lakeview is having an issue, parts of Uptown, as Alyssa has reported throughout the night.